Right? But let's do a challenging one. So let's do maybe like a 2 or 3 step one. Let's go z minus 10 over 5 plus 2 is equal to 12. Alright, let's try this one out. Okay? So the first thing I'm going to do, I'm going to solve it out using our first method. You know what? Let me challenge myself. I'm going to solve it out using our working backwards method, which has us starting with our variable always, working down to get our left-hand side. Alright, and then it's got our operation. It has our inverse. And then it has our solution that we will eventually find right here on the top row. And remember, to get our solution, we're always starting with our right-hand side. So we're going to start down here with our 12, and then we'll be working backwards up to our solution. Okay, so let's start out with our z. So we're starting with our z here. And if we look at the first thing that's happening to the z, we might think, okay, is it being divided by 5? Not really. It doesn't say z divided by 5. It says z minus 10 divided by 5. So the first thing that actually happens is we're subtracting 10. We've got to get that whole numerator together first. So z minus 10. Okay, so our operation is subtracting 10. So the inverse, the opposite of subtraction, is going to be addition, adding 10. Okay? All right, we don't do our solution until the very end. All right, so we've got z minus 10. We've got this whole part here, z minus 10. So what's happening next? What's the next thing that's going on? All right, so we've got z minus 10. The next thing is dividing by 5. So let's get it in that fraction, that dividing by 5. So that operation, division, remember, anytime, even though it looks like a fraction, it's actually division. Same thing, it's a fraction and it's division. And the inverse of that is multiplying by 5, right? Division and multiplication, if we look back at our inverse charts, those are inverses. Okay, but we're not quite done. So now we've got this part, z minus 10 divided by 5. What else do we need? We still need to add 2. So let's do that part, z minus 10 divided by 5, add 2. So what we did there was we added 2. Okay, so the inverse of that, the opposite of that, is subtracting 2. Okay? So I think we're good. We've got our whole left-hand side here, right? Let's just check. Left-hand side, does this match? Does this match? Yep, we're good. We got it. Okay? So now we take our solution. I'm going to do it in a different color. Take our right-hand side, and we're going to work backwards. So we go 12 minus 2. Right? 12 minus 2, that gives us 10. Okay? Then we go 10 times 5. Alright? 10 times 5, that gives me 50. Okay? And then we go 50 plus 10. Alright, 50 plus 10, that gives me 60. So my solution there is 60. Okay? So we think, from this method, unless I made a math error, that our solution is z is equal to 60. So if you're not convinced, right, maybe you're like, oh crap, maybe I made a mistake. Maybe I did something wrong. I'm not a person that's typically convinced. I always want to verify my answer and check my answer, but I'm kind of a nerd. I kind of like to do math. So for those of you that don't like math, it might be a little different. But let's try it out. So there's this thing called checking our solution. Checking the solution. Seeing if what we found is actually right, or if we did something wrong. So we take our answer, our potential answer, z is equal to 60. So our potential answer, and what we're going to do is, we're going to plug it in. And you're going to hear that a lot, plug it into the equation. So 60, and I'm just plugging it in, and I'm going to write out the rest of my equation. So instead of having a z now, instead of having some unknown quantity, I've now got 60 in for that. Okay, we're just checking it out. So this is you know how to solve this, I hope. This is just PEMDAS, right? So first thing we're going to do is 60 minus 10. We got 50 divided by 5 plus 2 is equal to 12. Right, 50 divided by 5 is 10, plus 2 is equal to 12. Right, 10 plus 2 is 12, is equal to 12. And once you come to this point, where you've got the same number on both sides of the equal sign, we know that's true. That's the property of equality. Alright, and we've just checked our solution. We know that this is true now. Yay, stars all around it. I didn't make any math errors, and hopefully neither did you. So the very last thing before I end this video is I am just going to give you guys one more problem to try out. And it's going to be trickier like this one. And I encourage you to try out any method that you think you might struggle with. I encourage you to try one out that you might not be as comfortable with. Because they're pretty neat methods. I tried out one there that I'm not as comfortable with, that's for sure. So we've got t minus 4 divided by 3 plus 1 is equal to 9. Alright, so try that out, see what you get. So pause the video right now, go ahead and work that out, and then when you're done, come back to the video. It should be on the left-hand side. Alright, so now that you're back, I'm assuming that you've completed this problem on your own. If you haven't, you need to go back and complete it. And you should get t is equal to 28. Let's see. Yep, t is equal to 28. If you did not get that, go back and try and rework it out. Or you can ask me for help in this next session. Alright, I will see you guys in section 1.2.